So finally, the bird has landed. The 26-man squad is here. The brouhaha, the noise, everything surrounding the squad. I think now people who have been speaking need to shut up and focus on the squad, literally. But before we get into the squad, before the squad was announced, there was so much talk about the 55-man squad. People had their squads already out there. Those that have made it, those that are out of the squad. For me, my take on that 55-man squad is that I think it was needless. It drew unnecessary attention. It created a buzz that the Black Stars at the moment did not need, because if Addo wanted to calm the nerves of the people, get the discussion centered on the squad early, he should have just gone ahead to name the 26-man squad. Yes, FIFA gave that provision to name 55, but if you realize 90% of the teams were just releasing their 26-man squad. Brazil has done it, England has done it, or Senegal just went straight, named their 26. It literally, reduces or eliminates unnecessary attention. But we decided to go for a 55, and you realize that there was so much talk.
Well, Brazil have done it, Senegal have done it. These are entities, or all of the countries which did it. These are entities who have an established system, know what they want. They have an established coach. We have a part-time coach. But these are entities who have established systems, who have continuity.
The FA and I think, not to catch you, the FA president wants us to stop using the rhetoric. We have a part-time coach, because he's on record to have said that no. Actually, I heard the minister of sports speak on a radio station where he says our coach is not a part-time coach. The FA has also reiterated that he's a full-time coach.
No, he can't be a full-time coach. We'll go into the politics of that later. But I think that if you want to juxtapose our position to all of these countries you have aforementioned, we cannot be in the same boat with them. And secondly, if you look at the Black Stars for a period, since we qualified for our first World Cup, we have become a political entity. We have become the FA has become a conduit through which so many things happen. Oh. Some of the things that happen, you cannot speak to the things.
Some waters you're not supposed to speak.
But that's a sad reality. That's the unspoken word. If you go to the word on the street, the FA has become a conduit. Like I said, that a lot of people have to do a lot of things through. So first of all, they were looking at the marketability that is involved in pushing out a 55-man squad out there. I think it did, because there were some names that were included in the final list. Not a lot of people saw them coming. And secondly, they wanted to gauge the expectation. Obviously, whichever squad you push out there into the public domain, Ghanaians as we are definitely going to talk about the squad. We are definitely going to scrutinize. So I think it gave them a fair idea of public perception about the squad and what we are to expect. So they had a fair idea the backlash that would come to them. And then they have been able to name the 26-man squad. I think that naming the 26-man squad about settles everything. But if there's one thing that I have gauged from the street up until this point, it is that a lot of people who were prior to this particular call-up interested in the Black Stars, they recalled back into their shelves. And I think that this whole mantra about bringing back the love, everything we are seeing today is the anti of everything.
The exact opposite of what.
The exact opposite of.
Let's get into the squad, and maybe we might talk about some few notable names that are absent in Jeffrey Schlupp. He's one of the notable names that before the announcement of this squad, I think that garnered a lot of noise on the street and even amongst professional quarters. Schlupp's exclusion, for me, we all know the politics of it. He's not been excluded because of footballing reasons. There's information out there that even before the announcement, there was heated, arguments between the FA president and the coach regarding the inclusion of, Jeffrey Schlupp. The coach wanted him there. The FA president and some of the entities, the management team, they want him there. And the FA president is on record to have said that the coach will not name a squad without the involvement of the FA and the management, specifically the FA they would have to be part of the name. He's on record to have. I'm not conjecturing. He said this. Everybody knows. So we have to, assume that this 26-man squad, definitely the coach did not make the decision on his own. Independently, it wasn't an independent decision, which I feel I'm a bit disrupt. The FA president, the Black Stars management, they are just there to manage the situation. They do not have any technical input. That's the reason why they are technical handlers. So if the coach does not have a fair hand in selection, how then do you go ahead to blame him when we do not perform? But let's get into the squad. Maybe you can speak to that when I give you the squad. So the goalkeepers, there's Danlad Ibrahim, who has not had a single cap for the Black Stars. We do not know if he would ever have though he's been called. Let's see what happens. There's Abdulmanaf Nuruddin. He's had just 2 caps for the Black Stars. Lawrence Atisigi, he's had 9 caps for the Black Stars. The goalkeepers, sad that the 2 guys that we could probably, the number 1 and number 2, just weeks or days before the tournament, out injured in Jojo Wallacott and Ofori. I don't know what you make about the goalkeepers. Well, I think that this is what we have, and we have to make do with what.
Well, obviously, when Blatter and his friends decided to hand over the nod to Qatar. When Blatter and his friends decided to hand over the nod to Qatar, we're obviously going to be faced with some of these situations that we find ourselves in, because ordinarily, if the World Cup were held in the off season, there's a fallow period, between the time the season ends and then the time the World Cup begins. So if players are carrying some small injuries, if players need a lot of rest, sometimes some of the injuries don't necessarily mean they going under the knife. Sometimes all they need is a relaxed period of rest.
To strengthen your argument,
exactly. So
there's this guy, Baba Idrisu. Reports indicate that based on the doctor's assessment, he would recover in about a week's time. But Otto did not want a repeat of what happened with Mubarak Wakasu. He went to the tournament and he didn't play. So that fits into your argument that if the World Cup had been played in the off season, I mean, you have like a whole month, you can recover well and all of that. Yeah.
So I think that if you look at the goalkeeping department, obviously we're a bit lightweight. You talked about the fact that Danlad, up until this moment, did not have any cap. Abdulman 2 caps. I think Zigidi has 9. So it tells you that if you look within the ranks of the goalkeeping department, we are definitely lightweight. And I cannot overestimate the relevance of goalkeepers to the modern game. Very good teams all across the world and across the various elite European leagues. They have very good goalkeepers. Like we've always said, the goalkeepers have become an outlet for which the attack of various teams begin. Either they work on their hand distribution or their feet distribution. So I think that one area that I think we are very vulnerable has to be the goalkeeping department. And for me, I'm not too excited about, because the goalkeeper has to be the guy who organizes the whole defense. If the defenders know that this goalkeeper does not really exude a lot of quality, does not exude a lot of confidence, you've set up a recipe for disaster. And so, as much as I would not want to blame the technical handlers, because realistically these are the goalkeepers that we have at this material time, but it doesn't really look good for me.
So quickly, the defenders. There's Denis Odoy, Terry Lamptey, Ali Duseidu, Daniel Amati, Joseph Edu, Alex Jiku, Salisu, Babaraman, Gideon Mensah. I think for once Ghana can actually boast of a blend of quality in the defense, because Daniel Amati, for Leicester City, it has culminated in his performance has culminated in Leicester City's picking up some good form in their last 5 games. Daniel Amati has been in some tremendous form. We know Salisu, we know Alex Jiku every time he's played for the Black Stars. So for me, I think that we have an ideal and a decent backline. I look at the entire squad and I can say, honestly, in the last 5-6 years, this squad is one of the best squads in terms of defense. The squad. I'm not talking necessarily about the team, but in terms of the players at our disposal. The defense, I think is okay. Like I said, it all depends on how the coach decides to set up. Looking at the opposition and looking at the materials, I feel that a 4-5-1 would be a decent setup for him. He shouldn't experiment the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2. Go all guns blazing. Be very tight at the back, very tight in the middle. Get your best midfielders, get your best defenders, and your attackers. You can just throw Iñaki because of his pace in there and let him run at defenders when we are on the counter. I don't know what you no. Let me add the midfielder so that you can go at it. So there is Andre Ayew, Partey, Elisha Usu, Salis Abdul Samed. His addition for me, brilliant. Take away Partey, he's about the best central midfielder we have there. There's Daniel Kofitre, there's Kudus, there is a Free Ebanye, Kamaldeen Soa, Abdul Fattah Ishaku, Osman Bukari, Iñaki Williams, Antoine Semenyo, Jordan, and Kamaldeen Soa.
Well, I think that's collectively it looks a decent squad. I mean, this is a squad that's not littered with so much quality. Looks very decent a squad. You look at the defense, I think that we have some very interesting names flying around in there. There's Amati, there's Salisu, there's Jiku, who has stood in very well in the absence of some of these superstars. At the fullback positions, we still have Gideon Mensah, your very good friend Babaraman is also in there. Then we have the option of either taking a Tariq Lamptey or a Dennis Odoi, depending on which game, like you said, the dynamics of the game that is presented to us. I think in midfield we have some interesting pairings. I like Kofi Tre, I like Mohamed Kudus. I think for so long.
And those who have not seen Salis should watch out for Salis when he plays.
I mean Salih Samed, very good player. I think he gets the job done. He's not a player who wants to double in all of flamboyance. He's what I call a contemporary midfielder.
Yeah.
Pass and go, spot spaces, push the ball into the spaces, move ahead. So I think that in defense we look a bit solid. In midfield we look a bit okay. In attack, I think we are terribly lightweight.
Finally, in 40 seconds, your ideal, we'll preview the African teams including the Black Stars. So for our viewers, watch out for our full detailed preview of the African teams out there. Your take on what do you expect from the Black Stars?
0 points.
Ooh.
Minus 8 goals. I would be absolutely surprised if we got away home with a point. I mean, 0 points, minus 8 goals.
Oh.
And I think that whichever plane we used to embark on Qatar, please keep the engines on. Keep the engines on. We'll make a turnaround quickly.
Guys, Kofi thinks that we'll go to the World Cup without winning a single game and a single point. I'm sorry, but I'm tempted to side with him. I don't think we'll beat Portugal. For those that are being, nationalistic, come on, we will not beat Portugal. We will not beat Uruguay. We will not beat South Korea. The last time we scored, we had our striker scoring was God knows how long now. But what do you think? Do you think Ghana will make will make it out of the group? And let's see here your comment. Let's see your comment in the comment section. What do you make of this 26-man squad? Let's get to know your views. This is Sports 101. We are shooting live at Red Mango Apartment in Takrady in the Western Ridge, Ghana. Make sure you subscribe if you've not subscribed.